Nevada. My name is Gary Wood. I'm going to be conducting the training this morning. We're going to have some fun and learn a lot about rain and kind of work starting together here to build this incredible company and opportunity that we have. We're going to start a series of webinars every Saturday, of course, but after the launch in Las Vegas, we're going to really start hitting it hard with calls in the evening. Will actually be webinars with an audio feed if you can't get on the screen. So welcome. Thanks again. I am recording this. I was asked to record this. And what we're going to do today is cover a lot of fun stuff. If you are familiar with GoToWebinar, there's a question box that you can type in questions as we go. I'll probably answer those at the end. But a little background on me. I'm not a product person. I have been in the business for about 26 years, mostly with insurance. I started way back in 1987 with A.L. Williams, became a $1 million earner there, very successful. And I've just really been involved with a couple MLM companies since 2009, both Google related, and went right to the top of both of those. So I've had a lot of success. I've done a lot of training, and I think you'll enjoy the way we present this and help everybody get started with what I think could be the greatest opportunity of this year as soon as we get the word out, kind of like we're doing now. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with a basic presentation some of you may or may not have seen before. I think it's important to kind of get the basics of rain. These slides are also available, just FYI, to you. Should you need them or like any of the training that we do today, just send a support ticket into the home office. And from this point, we'll do it that way. And then I'll probably start just connecting with everybody individually, kind of as a trainer going forward. So I have not had a chance to meet Byron yet. I'm looking forward to that in Las Vegas, then going to the home office. But this is Byron Belka, the president of RAIN. He fortunately took over and bought the company a couple years ago, and it's been an explosion kind of ever since. The big part of one of the reasons that I'm here is that we're in front of a big trend. As some of you know, if you look at history about the way things have happened in our industry, it's gone through a kind of a momentum shift and a paradigm shift. It's moved to more and more health conscious. We have 76 million of us that are, in baby boomer category, right? I'm right in there. And we're the first company to really focus on seeds. Now, when I learned about the seeds, when I first found out this product worked on me, I dove into research about seeds. One of the people that helped me a lot was my own son. He's a graduate in nutrition and all that from San Diego State University a couple years back. And he told me I was really onto something big here with the way this works and the synergy of the products all put together. Why seeds? Well, I didn't know, but I learned that they're 20 to 30 times more potent than the fruit itself, and that's pretty amazing. The oils and flowers extracted from the seeds provide protection for your cells. Now, I had read a little bit about this, but I wasn't really as excited about it until I found out how much it worked on me. It also, the seeds reduce the likelihood of free radical damage. So there's just a multitude of wonderful things, but the bottom line is you need to take it, you need to see how it works on you. We're going to show you some new testimonials today as well. What else do they do? Well, the seeds also increase the thickness of the cell membranes. And if any of you know what that means, it means longevity. And they're diverse and they have high levels of nutrients. Now, one of the cool things about this company and the patents they have is they've done the seed process a little bit different. It's called a cold press process. And that really makes the seeds maximize the potential of them. So there's 3 seeds and there's D-ribose. It's a 5-carbon sugar. But, why Soul? Why this product? Well, it has these seeds in it. Now, each one of these seeds by themselves are something pretty special. But when you put them together with this combination, man, we got a real winner here. I'm sure you've heard some of the testimonials, and they're coming in like crazy. So, the black cumin seeds, the black raspberry seeds, the Chardonnay grape seeds, and the D-ribose make all of this product Soul pretty unique and spectacular in terms of their results. So, black cumin in past and present, I knew a little bit about this one, not a lot, but I did know that it went way back. It's mentioned in the Old Testament. It's mentioned in the Quran. It's found in King Tut's tomb for assistance with the afterlife. I don't know how much that's going to help us, but look at the patents that have been issued on these. So this is a pretty interesting product. The second one, of course, the seed wise, is a people are into all this, I would not recommend that you go through and try to be a scientist in terms of helping them understand the product. What really matters is, does this work for them? And that's about getting it in their hand. We'll talk about that later. But one of the big ones for here that I've heard about are these two. Increases resistance to stress. I do know that it helps you sleep better. It helps promote and maintain skin regeneration. So a lot of pain, in fact most pain, I do know this, has been caused by inflammation. So this is one of the big ones in terms of inflammation that helps. So what I found out, what was kind of interesting to me, was that when you understand the synergistic combination of everything together, that's a pretty big deal. How many know about this one? Well, it's a sugar that's naturally produced in the body out of glucose. Well, what does it really mean with this product? Well, our body must modify the sugars, decompounding and transforming it into D-ribose in order. So children have a huge quantity of this, but as we get older, we kind of lose it. It's a natural substance with anti-anxiety effect and anti-stress, but it's a non-sedative. There's article after article coming out about the dangers of Tylenol and all these different things. Folks, this product is just about the new natural substitute for aspirin. It's just an amazing product. So I have heard a ton about improving sleep. This helped me improving sleep. It helped me a lot of concentration, and this is the big one, boy. It relieves a lot of pain for people. So, all the cells, the membranes, we have a lot of them. I'm not going to get into the scientific part, but this is all available for you. Should you be that kind that wants to know all this stuff? It's important to understand that it's there and what it does. But to me, the skin and all that, how you can take this and rub it on your skin, and it just does amazing things. And we'll be doing more and more training as time goes on. But to me, one of the biggest ones initially when I'm talking to people is the inflammation. It really, really helps with inflammation and pain. So a lot of interesting things coming out about the brain, acids in the brain, the neurons and stuff, Alzheimer's. Well, folks, we don't make any medical claims, but just start researching all this yourself, and you're going to be pretty amazed at what happens. All the different things that we eat nowadays in our modern, all of us want to eat better, organic and so forth, but there's so many bad things in the stuff that we eat, and this really helps clean that out. So seeds, nuts, and vegetable oils, well, chemicals and preservatives, they're all over us everywhere you turn around in everything we eat. So this product really, really helps heal you and get rid of that stuff in your body. I don't need to tell you about this one, right? All the different things that we eat, all the different things we put on our body, it has all this kind of stuff in there. And this really, really helps fix that. So we're overwhelmed with bad stuff, in our society today. From pills, the pharmaceutical industry, the junk foods, man, it's hard to get away from it. So why not take a product that helps with all of this? The cholesterol, of course, a good cholesterol is a precursor of many hormones. I'm not going to really get into a lot of the different parts of this, but I want you to know this morning that it's available and it's real. So, a lot of different research, a lot of things has been done, a lot of medicine and medical evidence and documentation behind the stuff in this product. So, Soul and the Lifestyle, the product we have is called Soul, for those of you that are new. The name of the company is Rain, okay? And compared to one packet of Soul to everyday foods, look what you get here. So, this is pretty cool, pretty compact. It's portable. You can take it with you. It's the most exciting product I've ever seen, and I'm not a product guy. But this is really easy to take. My wife's taking it now. She notices a lot less pain in her joints. She also notices she sleeps a lot better. And she has more energy. So this is a real deal, folks. And it's very affordable. So it's really, really a great product. But we can tell you that all day. And you can tell your friends this all day. But until they try it, it's not going to have the impact. So this is what I call an impact product, not so much a faith-based product. See, a lot of the products out there, especially MLM products, I've never got involved in them because, frankly, the whole thing turned me off. I thought this and that, and I found it at Costco or, Walgreens a year later, and I said, that's not for me. But when you get a product that's proprietary, that's new, that's different, that's unique, that really works for the majority of people, people that try it. When you give this product to people, I'm talking within a day or two, people start calling you. It's not a faith-based product where you have to take it for many months, and believe me, it's going to work. A little placebo effect probably in there too. But this one, say, hey, I'm going to give you some free samples. I want you to try it, and I want to follow up, but I want a commitment from you. If this works like I'm saying it works, and only if it does, are you going to get involved and buy some? You don't have to close them up front. Don't go sending samples out and just, think you're going to follow up and get them to do it. People nowadays need to be closed up front. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But when you do it that way, say, listen, here's what this does. It did this for me. Here's some testimonials. This is an amazing, amazing product. I thought of you because of X. Now, I'm going to give you some free samples. You've been to Costco. You ever walk up and down the aisles and see all the samples? Well, why do they do that? Because if you start eating some of those, you go, where's this at? Oh, it's in the freezer right over there or wherever. So sampling, folks, is the key to marketing today in society. Costco is a great example. Now, if you go to Starbucks, they're walking around with a platter, handing you free samples, right? Well, it's a very, very ingenious way to do it. We have the opportunity to do that here with an impact product. So if it works, and if you get the results that I'm talking about, why wouldn't you buy it, right? You close them, get a commitment. And then I tell them this. I say, now, before I give you these, you're going to be so excited about what this does for you. But if it works, and only if it works, you're going to get it. And do you believe in doing business the old-fashioned way, like people used to years ago, on your handshake and your word? Now, guess what? Guess what they always say? Well, yes, I do. So you reach out and you shake their hand, you get a commitment. So let's just make sure we understand each other. This is an amazing product that's going to help you in your life. If it works for you, the way I've said, you're going to get some, right? I don't care if you're a distributor or you just buy it retail from me. We got a deal? And you shake their hand. Now, folks, that does something. That's closing them up front. Now, if the product works, they're tied down. There's nothing they can do to get involved, right? And why wouldn't they? They know lots of people and so forth. So, little sales tip that I learned a long time ago. Why does this product really work? Well, look at all these different things it does. You've heard testimonials. You're going to see a couple more today. But folks, this is an amazing product, okay? It repairs and nourishes the cell membranes. It boosts the immune system. That's the body's major defense. Helps you get sick, basically. Big one is anti-inflammatory and anti-infection. Feeds the brain and skin. We need that, right? And it balances your hormones. So let's talk about getting the product out there, you versus a team approach. I'm not going to cover this in great depth because we've got a lot of cool stuff to cover today. But just think about this. If you use the tie-down method that I just stated, and if people start understanding that, oh my gosh, this really works, why wouldn't they tell people? So you can obviously do a lot more, damage. You can do a lot more help with people. You can get the word out there and affect more people if you're not the Lone Ranger. So as you know, we have a system that enables you to, build a team. You've seen the compensation plan. We're going to cover that a little bit today, but I just want to make you understand that you can affect and help more people by building a team other than being a Lone Ranger. I have a couple people that absolutely are ecstatic about this product. And I said, you excited about it? And yeah, they're just not too excited as far as their looks. And I said, well, you need to tell your face because your face doesn't look very excited. Oh, I'm very excited. It works fantastic. I said, well, you need to tell your face and start telling other people. Because why would you not want other people to experience what you've experienced, right? So, you can get into the business and, understand the binary with the match and all that stuff. I'm going to do a whole webinar on nothing but the comp plan. But one of the unique things about this comp plan with us is the biggest earners in our entire industry use a hybrid comp plan between a binary and a unilevel with a match. This has a 7-level binary check match. That is pretty exciting, and it's generational. So, if you talk about how to get started, how binaries work and all that, if you start with one left and one right, they're Tim and Bob, and they start building and you help them, all of a sudden, it starts compressing when people reach different levels. So today is just a little bit on the comp plan and how much you can make, but really none of that matters if this doesn't work. And boy, does it work. So imagine a powerful product with the uniqueness of starting North America, a proven company. The company's not on trial. It works. They over 2 years in Europe and everywhere else if this thing didn't work. That's one of the first questions I asked. I said, so how long has the company, before I even tried it, I had to have some basics down. How long has the company been in business? Between 2 and 3 years now, going on 3 years. And I said, why haven't I heard of it? They're not in North America yet. Really? And what kind of volume do? They do millions a month right now. New to North America, product works. You can't be in business and do that kind of volume, folks, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't happen like that. So I already knew that it worked. I said, what's the comp plan? They said, well, it's a hybrid. Really? Is it a binary and a unilevel? Yep. Does it have a match? 7 levels. I said, you have my attention. So I really started looking. This was before I even got the product. I said, well, the last part now is I can't wait to get it and try it, and boy, did it work. So like I mentioned, we have a 7-level matching bonus, generational. So I'm not going to go, really heavy into this because I think you know most of this, but I'm going to dedicate an entire webinar and record that as well on the compensation plan. But let me just tell you, I've been around a while, folks. I've built some comp plans. I have a really good friend that's designed several for many companies, and I really understand how these programs work. And you're looking at a winner here, especially with a product that's as powerful and that works like this one does. So it's an incredible comp plan. It's called a hybrid. It's a combination of a binary and a unilevel with a 7-generation check match. So wait till you see what they're going to do in Las Vegas. That's all I'm going to tell you right now. But I do want to show you this in our back office. This is something I want you to print out and kind of study because this company has almost everything that they need already. What we need to do is just, get to work, right? So if you go to, I'm going to switch this over here, pull this over, and go into our back office real quick. In the back office of the company, actually, let me just pull it over and show you. You go into your back office, you go to from dashboard right here. You click on dashboard after you log in. You go down here under document library, kind of on the left right here. You open that up, you're going to see rain cycle booklet. Now, for those of you that haven't messed around in the back office, they got some amazing stuff, okay? They've got all kinds of programs to help you. They've got a turnkey system to make us successful. But this one in particular, the rain cycle book, is one that's really, really good. So I'd encourage you to look at this. This goes through all these different sections, the fuel, the foundation, the launch. I spent 4 or 5 hours the last couple of days going through this. The message, so a system that's duplicatable with notes that you can print this out and kind of go over it. Once you do to get started, you need to take responsibility for your new people and print this out and go over it with them, take them to lunch, go over to their house, and fill all this stuff out and really let them know that you have an active interest in their success, because when they win, you win. So the first day, the first week, the fuel, dream building, you talk about a lot of the things that are basics in MLM. It's all here. We're going to cover that in a second. It talks about, how to get a hold of customer service, how to get help online. This is an amazing brochure, and it really, really works. Make a list. There's even a memory jogger right here, which I love. I've been teaching this kind of stuff for years. Right here's the memory jogger. So this is kind of unique because in my previous experience, in my business, everybody didn't fit. Now everybody that's upright and walking, that's a human being with a body, is a candidate for this, right? Even young people. So with my business, it was like, well, they had to be married. They're called 5-pointers, married with kids, they own a house, they got some money, they can buy insurance, right? With this, folks, this is way different. This is way easier, okay, than the insurance business. And they have notes and all that kind of stuff you can also talk to. What to do, when to start, how to do it, and the system you can follow. And a lot of people love this because they know that they can take this to the next step and show their people that this is duplicatable as well. So it's great, great, great. It's in your back office, again, under document library right here, okay? So I encourage you strongly to take full advantage of that one. It's a great, great brochure. So let's finish up here with this part. That's, again, I have some promotional things coming up. You're going to be blown away with what they're doing. But business-minded people understand 3 things. And I've learned this a long time ago. I've been doing this since I was 16 years old, folks, business stuff. It takes money to make money. If you're going to get involved in a business, there are going to be expenses to run a business. Now, if somebody tells you that's not the case, they're they're lying to you. Or they're like, one of the interesting things that happened to me raising my 3 kids, I taught them from when they were old enough to understand words, don't you ever say I can't. And if they said that, I made them do 3 push-ups. So they learned at a very young age to never say that. That's not their vocabulary. When they went to college, they started listening to, these big 300, 400 big classes and teaching, professors teaching business. And I told them, early on, and I didn't know one would actually stand up and say this in the class, is, well, what business experience do you have teaching this? I mean, you're a college professor. What do you make, $60,000, $70,000 a year? What do you know about running a business? Have you been out there in the real world running a business? Well, he got in a little trouble, but he got a standing ovation in the class as well. So there's expenses, folks, in running a business. If they don't see how they can get from red to black, they won't do it. So you need to teach people and work with them with some of these things that we're going to cover right now. So there's really 2 business options when you come into the company. I recommend that you go into business. If you're serious about this and it really works, that's just how I am. Let's let her go. Let her rip. Go for it. Go all out. Now, if you're not that aggressive, then you start with 1 business center. That's not bad, $10,000 a week. But if you understand the positioning of the company, the uniqueness of the product, where we're at in North America, and where we're at in terms of how many reps we have in North America, it's like having 1 store, right, versus 3 stores with the overhead of 1. So, I'm sure the person that got you involved can help you understand this. But, folks, this is a binary with a 7-level match and a unilevel as well. So I would encourage you to go for it. If you're going to do this, make a commitment and don't mess around. When you get going, the key to this business is this thing, Costco. Man, I've got to get this product into people's bodies quickly. So you can't do that without product. So maybe team up with your upline, try to get some more product in your hand. These are some of the different levels you can come in at, and how much you get. Each box of Soul has 30, containers, and you need to, if you're going to go for it, go for it. Don't mess around. Plant your tent and pitch it and go for it. And say, look, I know this works. It works on my own body. The company's solid. The guy behind it's solid. They have a track record of winning. The comp plan's fantastic. The only thing missing is me, right? So you need to really, really focus and, get enough product. That's really, to me, the key. And so you can, do the Elite Series where you get a lot more product and you get a price break as well. So my suggestion is, if you're going to go into business, you can't do it for that much money, but you can here. I mean, if you really want to go in for business, really, really want to go for it. So, the history behind the company is, the growth trends in these type of industries. We have such a uniqueness with seeds, folks. Nobody else is doing this. And it's going to catch on. And there will be other copycats come along, but by then it'll be too late. We'll already be on top. And we'll have market penetration. So I'd encourage you strongly to do whatever you need to do to convince yourself that this is the place where you need to go for it. That's why I'm here. The percentage of the market we have is, listen, the baby boomers, the people that are, the 76 million of us that are getting a little bit older, my brain's still writing checks. My body can't cash as fast anymore, right? I'm a really outdoor, aggressive guy. I race motorcycles. I do all this crazy stuff, and I climb mountains and all that. And folks, my body does not work as good as it used to, and I have a little bit of a rough time admitting that. So I'm always looking for something that's going to help me improve my quality of life and let me continue to do the things physically that I want to do. So we have a humongous opportunity with a very low penetration in the market. So let me talk a little bit now about testimonials. You can get a lot of the foreign testimonials on YouTube. Just go in there and type in Rain or Soul. We are now just starting to collect all these testimonials that most of you have heard. Here's some more. Brian says, I strained my left shoulder playing indoor soccer and had to drive for several hours a couple of days later in a snowstorm. A couple of hours into the drive, my shoulder started aching so badly that it made it almost impossible to drive. I didn't have any Advil or other painkillers, but I did have a couple bottles of Soul. Rather than stopping and spending the night at a hotel, I drank the Soul. In about 10 minutes, my shoulder stopped hurting completely, and I was able to finish the drive without discomfort. I've also noticed that I had far less overall aches and pains following exercise. See, a lot of us do that. A lot of us go to the gym, right? And recovering from that is not as easy. Playing ball, especially my lower back, where I've had 2 lumbar disc surgeries. Previously, I thought that lower back problems were just something I was going to have to learn to live with. Well, clearly the Rain product line has helped me and my body heal better from the nagging injuries and resist inflammation caused by exercise. That's what Brian said. Now look at this one. I'm a roofer in Columbus, Kansas. I fell off a roof, which resulted in a compound fracture to my right leg and torn ligaments in my left leg. Quite a fall. After 3 major surgeries, it took me 6 months to walk again. That was a bad one. For the past year and a half, I've had enduring swelling, extreme pain in his right leg daily. This has kept him from normal activities. Right? Simply taking a simple walk through grass was just not possible. Quality of life we talked about. I was introduced to Soul just a few short days after I began taking it. I noticed the swelling had decreased. A couple days later, I noticed I was no longer limping. Soon I was able to walk down the staircase in the grass without tripping or falling. Wow. Now, you think he's convinced? I think Ron's a believer. I believe that Soul has changed his life. Thank you, Rain. So, folks, there's going to be tens of thousands of these testimonials in the next few months. You need to be a part of it because this many people saying this many things can't be wrong. There's no placebo effect here. Okay. Here's the last one that John says. I started taking Soul originally because of the benefits of the black cumin. A lot of people know about this. He had been encouraged for the previous 6 months to get on black cumin because of the anti-inflammatory properties. He's dealt with several autoimmune diseases for 23 years. I lived with chronic pain that I thought I had under control. However, the pain was coming back in various areas. Soul has helped me to be symptom-free of all my chronic pain issues. Not only that, he's saving about $1,500 a month on the supplements and the drugs he was buying, and now he's getting a natural remedy with better results. Wow. So let's cover some basic training that I think is important for any real business that you do, but especially this one. So the basics of MLM in our industry, folks, are pretty standard. We've heard it a lot of times. Make a list, or prospect, introduce them, call, invite, present, sign, train. Well, folks, as many times you've heard it, a lot of us don't listen to this. There's so many people that I've trained over the years and talked to them. I says, you have it right in front of you in writing, but they just, I tell people whenever I get creative, I get killed. Go back to the basics because why? Because they work. And teach your people a duplicatable system. So that's the basics. But we add more and have to cover those details. So learn to tell the story about Rain. Use the PowerPoint you just saw if you need it. Learn to invite, posture, and no fear. What does that mean? Well, folks, I'm telling you, you can hear all the testimonials in the world, but until you are one of them, you're not going to have the posture. So when I talk to people, I don't care what they say. I say, oh, hold on. You're not listening to me. This works, I said. I know it does because it worked on me. So you can get that posturing, that bravado, whatever you want to call it, by being a product of the product, right? Learn to invite with posture and no fear. See, if it really works, you won't care about objections because you'll know that they're full of it. You got to get some in them, right? Learn to use the most powerful marketing materials that we have, the videos, the PowerPoint, the conference calls, in-homes, one-on-one, and learn the 3-way calls. I don't know everything. I can't say it as good as you, Gary. I can say it. I used to tell people when I'd go into when I was I've been in 1,000 houses selling insurance, folks, over the years. And when I was trying to recruit somebody, I was trying to recruit the client in most cases as well. I'd say, listen, at the end of the deal, they wrote up, people buy you. They don't buy the name of the company, they buy you. They buy your posture, they buy your belief. And I'd go in there and I'd say, listen, now that we're all done here, Mary and Sally, let me ask you a question. Do you think that I could go out, or do you think that I could recruit you to this business? You could go out and go on appointments, get an insurance license, tell the story like I just told it, and close deals like I just did. They go, no. There's no way. I go, really? You think I could? I just closed you, didn't I? And they go, oh yeah, you're really good. You could do it. So folks, what I would do is say, listen, here's what you have to do. In the insurance business, I had to get a license, get me in front of people by giving me a list, wind me up and watch me make them money. And this business, it's the same thing with three-way calls. All you got to do is get good enough with some basic words and say, hold on a second, let me get Gary on the phone or your upline, whoever's the best at three-way calls, and be quiet and let them. Now, through osmosis, you'll learn what to say. I had one lady that I closed like 60 insurance sales for her, and I gave her a referral fee. She never said a word, folks. And she said, how many of these will you do? And I said, a million. She goes, well, how would you? I said, I wouldn't have this appointment or this person without you. She goes, well, I just wind you up and you make me money. And I said, exactly. So, folks, wear your upline out with three-way calls. They're better than you right now. They know the answers to the questions. They know more about the product. So I would encourage you strongly to master the art of the three-way call. Okay? Learn to get organized and use your time wisely. This is a big one that a lot of people, they sit at their computer, they check a few emails, they might make a call, and they go, well, I've been working. No, that's not how it works. You only make money doing stuff that actually makes results in buying, closing, and training. Use of the most powerful marketing system for RAIN is sampling, folks. It's the Costco deal. There is nothing better but sample correctly, get a commitment. Remember that commitment, the handshake I talked about? Up front and follow them up and ask for the sale. Now, if this works, I got a person I mailed some to, but I got the commitment up front over the phone. And they called me up and said how fantastic it was. I said, remember our deal? And they go, yeah, what do you need, my credit card? And I said, yeah, I need your credit card right now. And I got on a screen share with them, and I wrote them up and signed them up right then on the spot. I took control of their future because their future and their referrals are my future and my referrals. So you need to protect. If you don't have a warm market, go recruit one, because that's the way this works. It's about warm market, about this really actually working. There's nothing better than sampling, but obviously you got to get that commitment. I've had people in the past that have said, well, I mailed them some. I've only been doing this for 3 or 4 weeks, folks. So I mailed them some. I said, you mailed them some? What did you say before you mailed them? Nothing. Wait. You mailed somebody something, didn't tell them was coming? Well, yeah, I figured, I'd call them in a few. I said, listen, you want to win? You need to listen to what I'm telling you. You need to call them up, get a commitment, and then if they give you the commitment, if they say, I don't think so, and I go, great, next. No, wait a minute, aren't you going to mail me something? No. Why would I do that? This is not free. You have to pay for this. Well, it really works like you said? Yeah, but you'll never know unless you try it. Really? I said, really? He said, all right, so let's go over this again. I'm going to send you free product. If and only if it works, are you going to buy it? Are you going to buy some? Are you going to get on the monthly auto ship? Are you going to, they said, well, how can I say no if it really works as good as you're saying? I said, exactly, so we got a deal? But then and only then I would mail them stuff. And they go, boy, that's a great tip. That's a good one. So you need to not be afraid to ask for the sale. Folks, we have a miracle product in our hands here. It really works. Have that posture. Okay? So here, scripts. Scripts are important. Let's start with a script. Here's mine. It doesn't really matter so much as long as you have the basics of the script. It matters how you give it. It's all about that posturing. People buy you. Like I said, I've been in 1,000 houses selling insurance. Folks, at the end of the presentation, 80% of my presentation was getting them to like and trust me, not so much the insurance product. And I can prove it because at the end of the day, they'd ask me, who do I make this out to? They didn't even remember the name of the company. All they remembered was me. So I said, Gary Wood Retirement Program. And they'd start filling out the check sometimes. I go, whoa, I'm just kidding. XYZ Insurance Company. So people buy you. So what I'm getting at there is that you really need to understand it's how you say it. You can't do very good with three-way calls or anything if you're not a product of the product. How do you expect somebody to buy something you didn't buy? I'll give you a great example. When I first started with the insurance business, my upline guy told me, he says, never go out with a prospect that doesn't own the policy. And I said, yeah. I was young and I was 27 years old and I knew everything, right? And I knew I could talk well, and I knew I was a good closer, but I was not very coachable at the time. So I said, yeah, right. So I got a recruit that knew like 3,000 people in our town, and I forgot to make sure he owned the product first. Well, I went out on an appointment, and sure enough, we were there. I gave a standing ovation presentation. This guy that we went to see and his wife, they were so excited. The guy looked across the table at my recruit and says, Bill, you own this, right? Now, I knew right then in that moment that I had not listened to my upline. my recruit said, well, I'm going to get it. He goes, whoa, stop. Hold on a second. You're over here telling me how great this is. You don't even own it? Out of my house. Folks, they threw us out of the house. So I used that for the next 20 years with a new recruit. I'd say, listen, I'm not going and going to be a hypocrite with you. I'm not going to go see anybody that you know. I'm not going to do any three-way calls with you if you don't have tried this product and you don't own it. Does that make sense? So when you do own it, you have, now what if he would have said, absolutely, here's my policy, and shoved it in front of the new recruit? Right up time. Sold, closed, over. So don't forget that story, folks. You have to make sure that you close people, because so many people in this business is called MLM that I've learned. I come from a straight sales background. If I didn't sell, I didn't pay the mortgage payment. So I learned how to close a long time ago, and it's not a bad thing. People want to be led down the path to do something that's good for them anyway. They just need you to lead them, and you lead them with what? With words. Okay. So here's a script. I'm not going to really go over the whole thing, but let's cover a little bit of it. Hi, Peter. This is Sandy. How you doing? Great. Sandy, the reason I called is I have to tell you a story that you'll want to hear. Great. Look, Sandy, if you have known me for how many years, probably know I'm not getting any younger, and have not told many people, but my back has been hurting for years. Of course, you do not say this unless it's true, whatever your particular situation is. What do you want to say about your story is really up to you. It's your testimony. People love to hear real stories. So tell Peter, Julie, and the Rain story what's done for you. So Peter, isn't that amazing that a product could work like this so quickly? So, these scripts are available. Here we go. We're heading down the road now to tie them down, right? Well, I sent it out to 4 other people who suffered from the same kind of pain, and guess what happened? See, this is called a third-party close. You're talking about somebody else, right? They all got relief in a matter of days. And that's not all. 2 of them said they had more energy, slept better, and felt better all around. Not just with less pain. Wait for an answer. So, now Peter, the reason I'm telling you this is because I thought perhaps you or someone in your family or that you know could use an all-natural product for pain relief, better energy, sleep, mental clarity, and all-around health. I'm sending out some free samples to people I know because I'm going into business marketing this amazing product. Tell them. So, Peter, do you know someone? See, not them, not Peter. Do you know someone? And let them answer, folks. I learned a long time ago, the first one who speaks here owns it. So if you ask for a close or a commitment, and then you shut up and you wait for them to answer. Now, it might go on a few seconds or even 30 seconds because people will look at you, and the first one that talks owns it. So you got to be quiet and let them answer. And then also after, you can ask the question, do you know anyone who could use this powerful product, something like this? This is the second person close I call it. You're not asking the person direct. So, well, actually, I could use the product. Oh, okay. So that's called, the approach. Here's a shorter call if you really don't like that longer one or you don't think you can memorize that. Now, if you don't like that long call, with that step 1, 2, 3 method, you call someone up and say, Peter, this is Sandy. I have something great I want you to review on your computer. Here's the website. Now, this doesn't work as much because most people have been hammered with 15 deals a week. Go watch this webinar. Go watch this short call. Listen to this. Well, they don't have time. And that's not impactful. But some people are afraid at first to talk to people. So here we go back to the 3-way call. Use the expertise of somebody that's above you. The person's making money off you, folks. Use them. Right? Okay, I want you to write it down and go to raininternational.com, and I want you to click on the video when you're there. And you can either wait for them on the phone and say, okay, Peter, I have to make a call a few other people. This is exciting. When you go look at it, basically, I'm going to call you back in a couple hours. See you in 2 hours. I know you're going to love the information. Then what? Guess what you need to do? You need to call them in 2 hours. You really need to follow up, and if you do, and they haven't watched it, you're going to say, well, I thought you said you'd watch it. Quiet. Listen. Well, you're really serious about this, aren't you? Yeah. Okay, I'll watch it right now. Okay, you call me back. How long do you think it'll take you to watch it? How long is it? 16 minutes. I'll call you back in 30. Okay, I'll be waiting for your call. Tie people down. Get a commitment. This is real life stuff, right? Now, the 3-way call. Try to use the experienced upline to help you make that call. We talked about this before, that you sent them to the website. If they did, and you called back and said, yeah, I watched it, it's pretty interesting. Hold on a second. And you get the other person on the phone. You make sure that you have a backup for your 3-way calls, because not everybody everybody's available. So you kind of set them up. I have people text me and say, I'm going to meet you in 23 minutes. I go, great, I'll clear my schedule and wait for the call. So the three-step process is, one, call somebody, get them to the website, call them back up with an upline, and help them close the deal on sending them to product. That's it. Remember, don't send a product unless you get a commitment from them first. Really? I've never heard that before. Well, maybe that's why you're getting the results you're getting. You've got to tie people down and close them, folks. I'm not going to send something out to somebody that says, yeah, go ahead and send it. No. Here's what this does. Maybe you didn't hear me. Okay? Now, I'm going to send it to you for free. All I'm asking is if it works, and I know you'll be truthful with me, right? Because you're going to want the product. You're going to absolutely want it. So only if it works like I said, and it does these things that I said, are you going to buy it? They go, well, how can I say no to that? I said, exactly. So we got a deal, and if they're in person, you get a handshake. That's it, folks. So next week, what we're going to do, folks, on Saturday, is we're going to have cover kind of how to meet somebody face-to-face, give the information hint. You know, it's just a matter of telling the rain story, giving testimonials. This is really about getting samples out, but how to close them before you give them samples. You got to get the commitment, because then listen, if this works on 80% of the people, 90%, how many are you going to get to sign up if you got them to close? If you close them up front? How about 80 or 90%? Now, I've had people just flat out tell me, well, this person, they won't commit to me. I said, well, then you don't send it to them. Really? Why don't I just send it to them and try? Folks, you're making a big mistake. Don't do that. Take it away. They start to think, you know, next time you talk to them, what's going on with you? Oh, God, it's so awesome. I went on this hike, now I don't have any more pain. Remember that thing I told you about that you were kind of stupid and you wouldn't give me a commitment, that I would, if I sent you the free stuff and you know, it really worked, you wouldn't buy it? Really? It works that good? I said, well, I wasn't wasting my time calling you. Yeah. I got to go. Well, wait. Maybe you should send me some. Okay, let's start over. So if I send it to you and it works like it did on me and all these other people, are you going to get some? Are you going to buy it? They go, well, if it really works, yes, I'll buy it. I said, so I have your word on that? Folks, why am I spending so much time on this? Because this is everything. If this is a product that's about sampling, but if you just send out, I guarantee if you send out 100 samples and just try to call them, you're not going to close any of them. You're not. Oh, I forgot to take it. Or I didn't see any instructions in the book. How do you take it? You know, how many do you take? They don't do anything. You've got to lead people and tell them what to do. This is how it is. So that's how you do it. So also next week we're going to cover, the next part of training will be how to sell the big package, explain the marketing plan, and building kind of the team. So it really doesn't matter what you say, folks, or what you use. It only matters what duplicates. Never say or do anything that's not duplicatable. Everything that I just taught you, I've done myself for over 20 years. I guarantee you that it works. And how do you get there? You practice. Repetition is the mother of learning. So, you know, the North American rain liftoff that's going to happen in Vegas, it's imminent, folks. This product is too good, with too many thousands of testimonials from other parts of the world. I knew that from common sense. I said, well, they're doing how much volume, and they've been going how long? Well, they can't do that if the product doesn't work, right? And it's proprietary. Nobody else is in this kind of an industry with seeds, and it's new to North America. Excuse me, I'm in, right? So go to your GoToWebinar box. I'll try to answer just a few questions as we close, if you should have any. We're about a quarter till, so we're right on time. I don't see any questions yet. Just so you know, if you're not sure how to do that, in your GoToWebinar control box, there's a place to type in questions. If you have any, I'm going to hang on here for a few minutes and try to answer them. But I hope this helped. We're going to do lots of these. I did record this. I know we covered a lot, but there's a lot to know. But guess what? It's the same thing over and over and over. It's not hard to learn what to do. It's hard to get yourself to do it. So you need to get convinced. You know, go on a walk, go on a hike, go on a car drive, and say, look, I'm taking this product. This really works. And if it really works, this is great. It's got to work on other people. So it's probably time that I got serious about one of these businesses and went for it. I got the tools, I got the product, blah, blah, blah. So let me answer a couple questions that are popping up here. Elaine's asking, how many packs of, I'm not sure what that one means, how many packs of, so I'll get rid of that one. make sure that's okay to do that first. So we'll have that answered within, probably a few hours. So I hope that helped. Let me just kind of reflect back on what we covered. I think the most important thing we covered today to think about is that the product's got to work on you. You got to be a product of the product. Don't ever get caught saying, well, yeah, I'm going to try it, but I want you to try it at the same time. No. So you've got to be a product. You've got to take an excited person with you when you're talking to somebody on a three-way call. You know what I usually say to them? I say, well, first of all, Mary, tell Joe what it did for you. Well, I can't say that if they're not on it, right? So let's see. Dwight's asking, can I post on YouTube? Sure, we can do that. I will make a note right now to do that, and I will do that. We'll call it Bootcamp 101 Rain, something like that, so you can find it. And I think that's all the questions. Folks, I hope this helped. I've been teaching this for a while. I've had great success with it. You really need to get excited and focused, and you need to get this in people's hands, but with a commitment. Don't just give out samples. So I hope that helped. We're right on time. Look forward to seeing everybody. I haven't yet met in Las Vegas in a week or so. You're welcome, Elaine. And I wish you well, and I hope we all go out there and make it rain. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye.